Hey, what's up, everybody? So, I want to talk about my diet for this upcoming powerlifting meet. This is Rocky, by the way. That's Charlie down there. What up, Charlie boy? That's Charlie is Rocky's son. Hey, Charlie. Let's see if we can get Charlie up here. Anyway, my my powerlifting meet is Sunday. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday. And I just want to give you guys a little insight to the diet that I'm basically running to get in shape for this powerlifting meet. And not to just get in shape for the meet, but to break state and national records. Okay, so, and when I say breaking these records, it's basically the 50-year-old division. My weight class is going to be, check this out. 198. That's going to be my weight class, which I've already made that. So, and the reason I've already made that because basically, like right now, I'm at 210, but I'm going to cut about 14 pounds of water prior to the meet before I weigh in. So I have to weigh in Saturday. The meet is Sunday. I'm really good at cutting a lot of water. Like I could cut 20 pounds if I needed to. I've done that before. But I'm only going to cut about 14 pounds for this one by water and sodium potassium loading. So you water load, you sodium load, you potassium load, and then you just start pulling water, pulling sodium, but I leave in the potassium so that I don't cramp up when I pull the water and the sodium. And that's why you potassium load, so the muscle doesn't cramp while you're pulling. So I do that Saturday. I do that Friday before I weigh in Saturday. Then as soon as I weigh in Saturday, I slowly start putting back the water and the sodium. And then I gain all my weight back and then some. So I'll end up probably weighing like 220 at the meet. See, so I end up, I'll weigh in at like, who knows, man, maybe 195. The cutoff I needed to make was 198, so I clear that easily. And then I gain all my weight back, so I go to 210, but then I begin carb loading and sodium loading and water loading again, which causes me to gain about another 10 pounds. You see how that works? So I end up weighing 220 in the 198 division. That's the secret. If any of you guys really want to learn the secret, message me. I charge anywhere from $100 to $150 for prep techniques for bodybuilding and powerlifting, okay? But I want to give you guys an idea where my body weight, how I got it down from like 235 pounds down to where I'm at now and kept all my muscle mass, okay? So basically I eat 350 grams of protein, 200 grams of fat, 250 grams of carbs, okay? And what I'm doing is I'm using fats to build muscle. In life, you have 3 macros. So you have fat, protein, and carbohydrates. So fat and protein build muscle. The carbohydrates just reglycogenate the muscle and they create muscle energy. That's all they do. When eaten in excess, carbohydrates get you fat. Okay, that's how you get fat, because you're eating too many carbs. It's not because you're eating too much fat, it's because you're eating too many carbs. So, I was able to stay really big and rather lean with really, really high macros, especially high fat, when I'm keeping my fats over 200 grams, which means when I'm ready to cut down and maintain my muscle mass, all I have to do is start slowly depleting out the fat and the carbs, because I was able to maintain so much muscle mass with such a high amount of fat and such a high amount of carbohydrate. Okay, so it's a little complicated, but what I don't have to do is I don't typically have to lower my protein at all, because I've left fat reserves in there and I've left carbohydrate reserves in there. So all I do is I slightly bring down the fat, which is what I did basically like the next 2 weeks to lean up even more for the meat. I'm slowly pulling like 30 grams of fat Then I'll, like tomorrow, I'll probably pull 40 grams of fat. The day after tomorrow, I'll see how I look. I'll pull maybe another 40 grams of fat. That's all I have to do. Like, I don't have to do any cardio. I don't have to train any different. I don't have to do anything but slightly adjust my carbs and my fat. So after I get, let's say by Saturday, I'm not still where I want to be, okay, as far as being as lean as I want to be for this meet, then what I'll do is I'll start pulling carbs very, very lightly. So I'll pull 30 grams of carbs on Sunday. I'll leave my fat where they are. I'll leave my protein exactly where it's at. But now I'll start touching the carbs, okay? Because I've left my carbohydrate reserves so high. And I'll bring my carbs all the way down to, say, 100 grams Friday before I weigh in. I'll drop them all the way down to 100 grams, which 100 grams, I'm still good. I'm still strong. I'm not starving the muscle of energy. Nothing like that's even happening. And again, bringing the fat down, then I stop. I hold the fats exactly where they need to stay. Then I start bringing the carbohydrates down. I keep the protein where it's at. I keep that protein nice and healthy at that 350 grams. And boom, I make weight. Now, a week out from the meet, I start doubling my water intake. And I take my sodium intake from about 2,000 to roughly 10,000. All right, so the sodium is really high. The water is going to be at about 2 gallons a day. And again, I double my potassium. I actually start taking these 200 milligram potassium pills. And that's how I bring my potassium up. And I do that for a whole week. All right, so I'm at 2 gallons of water. I'm at 10,000 mgs of sodium. Basically all I'm doing with the sodium is I'm taking pink Himalayan salt and just adding it to all my food. And that's how I get my sodium levels up. I don't have high blood pressure or anything like that. For 50 years old, I have nothing wrong with me. Knock on wood. Knock on freaking wood. Thank you, Jesus. So I can increase my water and my sodium without having any heart issues, or high blood pressure or anything like that. So then the night before I weigh in, actually that morning, Friday, I slowly start cutting my water back. So that by, say, 6 p.m., I shut the faucet off. So Friday morning, I take in no sodium. So all the meals, I might not even eat Friday morning. If I do, who knows, man? Maybe it'll be a protein shake or something. Might not even be food. Friday before I weigh in, we cut the sodium completely. We start lowering the water. We lower the food intake because we got to get on that scale as light as we possibly can come Saturday morning. By the time I get to 6 o'clock on Friday, I've completely shut all water off. So now there's no water, there's no sodium, and there's a little bit of potassium hanging on in there to keep me from cramping up. Because now I'm going to start peeing like every 15 minutes. I'm peeing all that water out. And I'm getting leaner and harder and drier. And the body is just like shrink wrapping, okay? And then Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, I weigh in. And by then, I should be at my absolute lightest for this meet. And as soon as I get off that scale, I start drinking. And I start putting that sodium back. And I start carbing up. I start eating a lot of like cream of rice, or I'll eat just regular old white rice or jasmine rice. No breads, none of that garbage, because I don't want inflammation coming in from gluten. So it's all cream of rice. It's going to be white rice, jasmine rice. It's all that kind of stuff. It'll be all gluten-free because, again, at my age, I have shoulder issues. If I start overloading gluten, I'm going to create a lot of inflammation all throughout my upper body, and I won't be able to bench what I need to bench to break these records. So that's just another tip for you guys. When you carb load with rice, potatoes, white rice. Yams are okay, but they don't get in fast enough for, say, a powerlifting meet. You got to get the carbs in really fast, so they need to be white. Potatoes and white rice are the best. Now, prior to, let's say we get to Sunday. Sunday is the powerlifting meet. Sunday, I'm not eating a lot. And the reason you're not eating a lot the day of the meet, mainly is because you don't want a lot of food in your stomach, because blood is having to go to your stomach to digest the food. You want all the blood in the muscle tissue to support the strength. If you have to pull blood away from your extremities to digest food, you run the risk of being a little weaker. So the day of the meet will start, say, at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I'm taking in sugar and amino acids all day. Sugar in the form of just regular old Gatorades, not the sugar-free Gatorade, just regular old Gatorade with potassium, sugar, electrolytes. Be taking in honey. I'll just be, I take one of those bear-shaped honey bottles and just squirt it in my mouth. I'm drinking honey all day because that is reglycogenating muscle. It's giving me quick energy. And I'm also taking in creatine. That's another one I forgot to say. So I load my creatine at 20 grams, and then I carry it 20 grams every day. So 20 grams of creatine a day. Even the day of the meet, I'm taking in large amounts of creatine, okay? Those are the tricks. So that's it. Basically, I'm 50 years old. I'm about to break state national records on the bench press for my age and my body weight. I plan on weighing 195 or under when I weigh in. The day of the meet, though, I plan on weighing 220 freaking pounds. So the guys that aren't doing it right, and they actually weigh 198 pounds, I'm going to be in the same class as those guys, but I outsmarted them. I out-tricked them. I'm going to weigh 220 pounds, which means I'm going to be way freaking stronger because I ran all these tricks going into the meet. So a lot of guys I learned they don't do that. It doesn't make any sense. They should hire a coach and learn all these different tricks, which is even more than what I shared with y'all. I don't share everything with everybody because somebody at the freaking meet might be watching this and, use some of my tricks against me. That wouldn't be cool. But anyway, that's it. That's the basics, man. That's how you get ready for a powerlifting meet. That's how you go from 235 freaking pounds all the way down to like 195 the day of the meet, and then blow up to 220. Or I'm sorry, the day before the meet, and then blow up to 220 the day of the meet. All right? That's how that works. All right, guys. My new channel is Teddy Zane All Out. If you guys want to subscribe, the link is below. It's going to be all my new fitness. I'm going to be veering off into fitness anyway. I'm kind of getting bored with this whole stock market channel and the finance and all that. Plus all the hate that's going around. I'm sick of that. Tired of the hate. I don't see why there's going to be a lot of hate in fitness, but I'm sure there will be haters. There's haters everywhere. But I'm hoping there's just less on my fitness channel. So that's it. Teddy Zane All Out. The link is below. Y'all sub. That's it, baby. Y'all have an awesome afternoon. Shaboom. Peace.